Yeah. Wow. Emergency live. Obviously not anticipated. Thank you all for being in here. Please hit the like button and be active in the chat. All for the algo. I am very tired. Why did I think I wasn't going to do anything today? Anyway, make a video this morning going over the final 53-man roster. I'm an idiot. I should have known that wasn't the final roster. Then I do the lunchtime live talking to you beautiful people. And a couple things happened there. Added a couple guys to the practice squad, things like that. And then I thought I could just take a nap. And I take a 1 hour nap. And I wake up and Jalen Reagor has been traded to the Minnesota Vikings. So on the live, I said it was rumored that Howie Roseman tried to trade Reagor to the Vikings for a 5th-round pick. That's the rumor that I heard. And the Vikings turned it down. That's the rumor that I heard. We were talking for a couple of days on the fact that we didn't think anybody would give up anything for Jalen Reagor. But you leave it up to the little weasel Howie Roseman. And what is he doing this offseason, man? What's going on? What did he eat for breakfast today? What is happening? Howie Roseman is on an absolute rampage. Just fleecing teams left and right. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like this. So Howie Roseman, somehow, some way. Everybody's talking about, we don't even see a team giving up a 7th-round pick for Jalen Reagor because of the $1.8 million guaranteed and the fact that he's shown us nothing. And somehow, some way, that little weasel Howie Roseman got himself a 7th-round pick in 2023 and possibly a 4th-round pick in 2024 for Jalen Reagor to the Minnesota Vikings. The Philadelphia Eagles have traded wide receiver Jalen Reagor to the Vikings for a 7th-round pick in 2023 and a conditional 4th-round pick in 2024. That would change to a 5th if certain statistical marks are not met. So they put clauses in the trade, but still, even if Jalen Reagor stinks as much as we think he stinks, you got a 7th and a 5th for a guy that you thought you couldn't even get rid of. I mean, what is Howie Roseman on right now? So, with as deep as the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver core is right now, you had to do this. I just didn't think it was possible. You didn't see Jalen Reagor really sniffing the field. When you got Zach Pascal as your 4th wide receiver, and I was even saying I was a little upset that Jalen Reagor was still on the squad and DaVon Taylor technically was waived or cut. I was upset about that this morning and last night. I was like, I thought DaVon Taylor clearly showed that he has more to offer than Jalen Reagor at this point in Philadelphia. Howie Roseman, man, he must have been in the Twitch stream last night. He must have been on the lunchtime live today. And he said, all right, DJ Eastwood, I got you. I'm going to get Jalen Reagor up out of here. And I'm going to sign DaVon Taylor to the practice squad, and I'm going to get Jalen Reagor up out of here. I don't know how he keeps doing this. So, did Howie Roseman get his revenge? Think about this. Howie Roseman makes the mistake of drafting J.J. Arcega-Whiteside ahead of DK Metcalf, the Seattle Seahawks have Metcalf. He becomes a star wide receiver. Howie Roseman somehow, some way says, how can I get back at them? How can I get back at the Seahawks? And he trades J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to the Seahawks. For what did he trade him for? A fourth or a fifth? Something way higher than they should have. And the Seahawks, he didn't even make the team, bro. Arcega-Whiteside didn't even make the team in Seattle. So they just gave us a free pick. Or was it the safety that we got? But no, we didn't get a pick. I don't know. It's such a blur, man. There's too many things happening. But either way, he got cut. Yeah, he didn't even make the team. And then he says, and you know, he drafted Jalen Reagor in the first round over Justin Jefferson. And the video comes out of the Minnesota Vikings front office reaction to the Eagles passing on Justin Jefferson. And Howie Roseman sitting there in his office. Just blood boiling. Just fuming mad. At the Minnesota Vikings front office saying, they didn't take Jefferson. They didn't take Jefferson. They didn't take Jefferson. Get him on the phone. Get Jefferson on the phone. That's what they said when that happened. And Howie found that video, and he was just sitting there, blood boiling. I need revenge. I need revenge. How can I get back at the Minnesota Vikings? And he finds a way to trade that receiver that he took over Justin Jefferson to the Minnesota Vikings for 2 future draft picks. That's funny. Oh, JJ was brought back to the Seahawks practice squad. Nah, same difference, if you ask me. So yeah, Howie Roseman's on a redemption tour right now. He trades Jalen Reagor to the Minnesota Vikings for a 7th round and a 4th round pick. I didn't see this value. I didn't see any value for Jalen Reagor. That's why I'm not an NFL GM, and Howard Roseman is. All right, so a couple other things happened while I was out, and we're just gonna scroll around here, look at some things, stay up to date here. The Philadelphia Eagles have signed 14 players and an international pathway program player to the practice squad. I have no idea what that means, but here you go. Here's the Eagles players they signed to the practice squad. You got DaVon Allen, Olympic hurdler, you know, the fan favorite. The fan favorite who caught that 60-yard touchdown in the preseason from Reed Sinnett. DaVon Allen. You got Kennedy Brooks on the practice squad. Deon Cain makes the practice squad now that Jalen Reagor was traded. Maybe Deon Cain makes the 5th slot in the wide receiver on the active roster. That'll be interesting to see. Andre Cashery, by the way, that's how you say his name, Cashery. His wife told me on Twitter. Is on the practice squad. LaRaven Clark, Britton Covey, another fan favorite, made the practice squad. Mario Goodrich, safety Anthony Harris. This one's interesting because, you know, Anthony Harris is a veteran. He re-signed on a 1-year deal and then got waived, and now he's on the practice squad, which means Anthony Harris wasn't offered anything from any team anywhere. And he's on the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad. DN Matt Leo, quarterback Reed Sinnett, makes the practice squad. Reed Sinnett was just horrendous in that last preseason game, man. Really ruined his own situation there with that performance. Tight end Noah Togai. I never know how to say his name. Togai. Cameron Tom, Marvin Wilson. So there's the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad for you. The Eagles claim Ian Book off the waivers. The quarterback, where did he come from? The Saints, New Orleans Saints. Quarterback Ian Book. I know nothing about him, but it's interesting because you sign Reed Sinnett to the practice squad, and you sign Ian Book. So who makes the third? Which one of those guys makes the third quarterback slot there for the Philadelphia Eagles? We will find out at some point in the near future. I'm sure it'll happen today. And we waived DaVon Taylor. 4th round pick in 2020. Linebacker DaVon Taylor has been waived. So, Howie Roseman today came full circle and accepted that his 2020 draft wasn't so good. And we'll see about Jalen Hurts. If that ended up being a good draft pick or not, we don't know yet. But waives DaVon Taylor. And I thought DaVon Taylor had some injury problems last season. And I thought the rumblings that I heard, from what I remember, is that DaVon Taylor was having a good off season and a good training camp. So it's interesting to me that he got waived. That's a young linebacker who was taken pretty high for, a linebacker. So we'll see if DaVon Taylor ends up on another team or not. Interesting. And DaVon Taylor was on Philly Mike's channel, the Philly podcast. So I don't know, Mike. Maybe you're bad luck, Mike. Maybe you're bad luck, bro. He comes on an Eagles podcast show to talk about his off season and what he thinks about this season. Then he gets waived. I don't know why that's funny to me. We got super chat here, man. Let me try to think about what I'm doing. I'm tired. I'm not used to being on 4 different lives in 2 days and things like that. Rob R. Thank you for the super chat. $5 super chat from Rob R. says, when drafting Jalen Reagor, Howie Roseman also passed on T. Higgins, Chase Claypool, and Van Jefferson. Yeah. I remember T. Higgins. LSU, right? Or is that Justin Jefferson? Justin Jefferson was LSU. He's the one that was catching touchdown balls in a championship game from Joe Burrow. T. Higgins. He was also LSU, though, right? Am I right about that? I think I'm right about that. Yeah, he passed on T. Higgins also. Clemson. Oh, my bad. Not even close. Romp, what's up, man? Romp 2.0 in the chat. My record prediction for the Eagles, man, bruh, I don't think I can go record prediction, man. I just can't. I just can't. Jalen Hurts is too much of a question mark for me right now, honestly. It all depends on him. Like I know we're all very excited for what the roster looks like and all of the moves that were made in the offseason, offensively and defensively, but it's the thing for me is that I don't want to say that doesn't matter, because that does matter in the long run. I think Howie Roseman's setting this thing up for the best of both options, basically. If Hurts turns out to show that the front office believes that they should move forward with him as a franchise quarterback, you got a pretty damn good roster. If Jalen Hurts doesn't show enough and the front office wants to move on, you got a pretty damn good roster for another guy to walk into. So I think he did a great job setting up both scenarios. But as far as a record prediction, man, I think I had 9-8. Maybe I had 10-7, just because I know, we will be a dominant offensive line. We're gonna be a dominant defense, man. So I could even go 10-7, and again, I wouldn't be totally shocked if the Eagles end up 10-7, or even go into the win a playoff game, get to the second round, and Jalen Hurts is still a question mark. You know what I mean? I know people don't want to hear that, but I'm just saying, like, look at the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. Guy took the 49ers to the Super Bowl, or did he? Or did the defense take them to the Super Bowl? And they still try to trade him. You know, I'm just putting that out there. I would be very happy if Hurts succeeds. I would be very happy if Hurts shows what he has to show to be that guy. But, you know, it's tough for me to really make a record prediction because no matter how good the offense is on paper, no matter how good the defense is on paper, the most important part of a football team is the quarterback. And it's just a big question mark for me right now, man. That's all, man. It's just a big question mark for me. Brandon Drolls, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate that. Says, here you go. Don't want to say anything else, man. Just here you go. Defense and running game got the Niners to the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying here. You know, somebody just came at me on the Lunchtime Live saying, yeah, well, he took us to the playoffs. No, did he take us to the playoffs? Or was it the defense and the running game? Well, I guess it wasn't necessarily the defense. Defense wasn't great in John Gannon's system. But it was definitely the running game that took us to the playoffs. And you play a great team. They force you to throw the ball. And it wasn't good. Anthony Duane, get over Wentz. He's been gone. Who's talking about Wentz? Oh, Master of the Craft. Eagles never did this roster stuff for Wentz. It's an interesting opinion to have. That's an interesting opinion to have in this situation. And I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts, but for the Eagles to make roster moves in 2022 and for your initial thought to be they never did this for Carson Wentz, I don't know, man. What is the fandom, bro? Where did this type of stuff come from? And it's not just Carson Wentz. I see it all the time, man. Why do we latch on to guys and become fans and we absolutely can't let go? What are you doing?
I need a USB-C charger.
For what?
I just need it. I need it.
There's one in the right drawer in the kitchen. Yeah, see, trying to do it live and you know, don't even really have the time to be doing this. Yeah, when did we start latching on to players and refusing to let go? You know what I mean? The Nick Foles stuff. How long did that last? Where people, Foles, we want Foles. What was the thing called? Foles. I don't even remember what it was called, man. They wouldn't let go. And now they won't let go. Most people will. Come on, bro. Master of Crow, what are you doing here, man? Wentz couldn't even bro, he got to Indianapolis and sprained both of his ankles day one training camp, bro. Why? He missed all training camp because he sprained both of his ankles the first day. Do you know how insanely injury prone you have to be to show up to a new team that you got traded to because you couldn't stay healthy and sprain both of your ankles on day one? Do you understand how injury prone you have to be for that to even be possible? And the Colts gave up a first-round pick for him. I think they gave up 2. I don't remember, or a first and 2 seconds. They gave up some serious draft compensation for him, and then they had to get rid of him after one season because he flat out can't stay healthy. I was an Eagles fan. I left when they did my boy dirty. Wow. That is weird. That is weird to me. In my opinion, that's weird. And also, in my opinion, you were never an Eagles fan. You were never an Eagles fan. That's not what an Eagles fan is. An Eagles fan is a fan of Philadelphia as a city. The team represents the city of Philadelphia. The city of Philadelphia represents something that a lot of us relate to. Blue-collar underdogs. Always counted out. We love the city of Philadelphia as an existence, as a bloodline. And the football team, the basketball team, the baseball team, the hockey team represents that. So you were never an Eagles fan. I'm sorry. If you left because Carson Wentz left, you were not an Eagles fan. And then he says you guys are fair weather fans. What? I gotta stop reading, bro. I gotta stop, man. I gotta stop, bro. I gotta stop, bro. We gotta time out, man. Master of the Craft, I love you, man. You're in here a lot, but I can't read your chats anymore, bro. I gotta time you out, bro. I can't handle it. It's ruining the show. It's ruining the show, man. But yeah, look, I just wanted to jump up here real quick anyway, and say Jalen Reagor got traded. And there you go. There's another thing Howie Roseman did. He fleeces the Minnesota Vikings out of some kind of draft compensation for a guy who isn't worth it. It is what it is. So Howie Roseman impresses again. Shout out to everyone for coming through. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you guys. At least we got some kind of entertainment out of a Carson Wentz super fan. No, I didn't block him. I timed him out, man. He's on a 5-minute timeout. He might be a Ben Simmons fan, too. I don't know. Y'all be good, man. I appreciate you.